Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the wind from the north, delivered to you straight from Russia. And today we're in my kitchen. We're doing some unpacking after grocery shopping. Actually, I saw hundreds of YouTube videos on this topic, but most of them contain this information about how shops look like right now in Russia under those sanctions, whatever. Not very often do I see the real unpacking thing, the real prices with the discounts. Okay, so my idea is to show you what I had in my bag today and to show you the real prices for this food. But one more side note is that I went shopping after a very tough working week. So before going out, I opened the fridge and I saw something which, I wanted to be there, but it wasn't. Okay, so my fridge was lacking some really delicious stuff that I personally love. Yeah, so I was hunting for these things. And what I bought today, you cannot call this purchase as something traditional for every family. You will see my personal taste on food here, and maybe I will show some dishes that I am going to cook with the food that I bought. So let's see what I have. This is how the amount of food which I bought for 3,500 rubles look like. And you can see that there's wine there's some fish, some cheese. So I'll go through each pack individually and give my comments on this. I'll start with the fruits, okay? Honestly, right now in the middle of March, the choice and the variety of fruits you can buy both on the markets and in just big grocery shops. So the variety is very limited, but still, if you try hard, you can find real decent stuff. And my life hack in shopping for fruits is just to smell it. Yeah, so I'm always buying my apples and my pears by the smell. Okay, so I bought these huge apples. It's like a kilo of it, and the price is 130 rubles. Yeah, so I just keep my apples in this open bowl for everybody to be available. And I have these pears. They are pretty soft. 850 grams for about 143 rubles. Next thing I bought, and I absolutely love it, it's an avocado. The ripest I could find, and the price of this one is 120 rubles. Another veggie thing that I bought is carrots, and again, the smell is absolutely carroty. Yeah, so it has some soil on it, some clay, but I never choose to pay for washed carrots because I believe the price for them is reasonably high, so I can wash my carrots myself. Yes. And the price for this bag of carrots, which is 700 grams, is 19 rubles. 19 rubles for 700 grams of unwashed carrots. Two things that are, my guilty pleasure. This is salty caramel, like soft caramel. I absolutely love it with my pancakes. I bought 2 jars of it, 100 rubles each, and crisps with garlic and greens called Natura. For me here in Russia, it's the healthiest, I'd say. So 100 more rubles for this one. Another thing that requires my special attention, because I'm very picky in that thing, is the bread. Russians are crazy about bread. We have bakeries in every corner of every block, but I have my favorite shop with a favorite bakery, and I have 2 favorite types of bread. So this one is whole wheat white bread with seeds, but these seeds are only covering the bread. Okay, it's like for decoration purpose. And this one packed in paper. It's still very hot, okay? The aroma is just, you know, paradise. So this is black bread with seeds inside, and when buying it, I had a recommendation from the sales assistant. It's like, it is so fat, so please, she asked me, do not use it, okay? Be careful with the dosage because it's very fat. It's not unfermented, so it has yeast inside. Yeah, so I had this, advice from the lady who was selling it to me to be careful with my healthy eating. As for the prices, both of them weigh around 300 grams, and the price is pretty much the same. This one is 50 rubles, and this one is 65 rubles. Another thing in my bag was a bottle of red dry wine, because if I drink wine, it's red and it's dry. So this one I never tried. It's from Africa, product of Africa, but they had a very generous discount on it, like special offer, 30 or 40% discount, I don't remember. So I bought this one at 500 rubles, yeah? So 500 rubles, and they say it's best for meat. Not sure about that, okay? Anyhow, it's pinotage, and I think it's gonna be good by the taste. And another guilty pleasure of mine is the cheese. So this one is Swiss. Swiss cheeses are expensive here in Russia. So this one goes at 3,700 rubles for a kilo. For that reason, because of the price, they usually pack it in small boxes to make it more affordable to people. So I paid for this tiny thing, which is 60 grams. I paid only 230 rubles. But I absolutely love the taste, okay? And I think with the wine, it's going to be a great pair for my Saturday night. And the last item I wanted to show you, and I have in my bags, is the trout. So this fish is 2 kilos and 400 grams heavy, and the price is 1,920 rubles. So the fish as big as this one is going to feed me for, I don't know, maybe 5 days, because if I cook at home, I stick to very simple recipes with 3 or 4 ingredients in it. I really love simple food. Yeah, so, and I'm going to make 3 different dishes out of this one fish. So if you don't mind, I'm going to show you how I deal with the trout and what sorts of food you can find here in Russia made out of this Red Sea fish. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut it into 3 pieces. Yeah, so the head and the tail will go into fish soup with very little ingredients like carrots, potatoes, and some greens inside. Very light, nutritious, and tasty stuff. So the rest part will go into halves, something like that, I think. So this I will cut into 5 steaks, and I will have some 5 dinners with this one, and this will go into sashimi starter kind of thing. Right, so I managed to cut 5 steaks out of that part, put aside 1 for tonight's dinner, and packed the rest for into plastic bags and they'll go into the freezer to wait for their time. My fish soup is already cooking. And I already prepared this fillet for the sashimi thing. Yeah, I literally peeled the trout. Yeah, so I took the skin off and cut it into these 4 elegant pieces with a sharp knife. Yeah, you really have to have a very sharp tool for this job. Which brings us to a very curious cultural fact about Russians. The fact is that here we believe that the knife sharpening job doesn't belong to women. So it's like it's not the women's domain. So only men do that. I mean, should do that. Yes, of course there are some knife sharpening machines. Of course you can take the tool to some, professional sharpening. But once you detect a sharp knife in a woman's house, they'll tell you that, this woman has a happy relationship. So it's like a sharp knife is a sign of a happy relationship with a man, yeah, because the man is doing the job. And actually all I have to do now is to slice the fish into these thin slices, and put some spices inside. I prefer simple salt and white pepper for the trout. Well, I'm done with the slicing, but even with the sharp knife, as you can see, I'm not very good at slicing because, these slices, they should be transparent, right? At least I know some people who can do that to make it transparent, but for me, that's how I'm doing it. And that's how I'm going to eat this thing. I know some people in Russia, like my aunt, for example, she uses sugar and alcohol as spices for the sashimi. I never do that. I hate the sweet taste of the fish. So my favorites are salt and pepper. And after slicing, after salting, you put it aside, you wait for a day, maybe until tomorrow, and it's ready to be consumed. Some people believe it's a dangerous food because, yeah, it's literally raw, but I've been doing that for decades, like 2 decades, I believe, and everything's all right with my health. So my dears, if you're wondering how am I gonna eat this fish, which is not a sashimi, let's be honest, it's just salted fish, right? Raw fish. I'll show you. So I sliced the bread, the black one, which I showed you previously. It smells fantastic. And check the seeds inside, okay? So then I put some slice of the fish, and that's it. Some people use butter here, but I prefer not to. And for me, this is a self-sufficient dinner sometimes, yeah, because the bread is fat. Remember the recommendations from the sales lady? Yeah, the fish is fat as well, so it's like a very nutritious snack and the perfect snack for some beer, right? So if you have a beer night today, you'll definitely enjoy the fish I have here. And I also wanted to show you the fish soup that is ready, waiting for me. This is my late lunch today. So as I told you guys, carrots, the fish, and some potatoes. That's it, nothing else. Very simple, and very fast. So guys, I showed you some food that I really love, some of my guilty pleasures, which I cannot resist, and the prices that we are paying here now. And editing this video, I'll put the dollars equivalent to the prices, and the exchange rate that I used was 75 rubles, but it's not very stable, so it's altering all the time. But today it's 75 rubles per $1, okay? And I also am wondering, Can these prices be compared to what are you used to paying in your shops? And I'm even more curious about what is your favorite food, okay? Maybe you can share some guilty pleasures that you have. So I'll be looking forward to your comments, and please stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, and see you next time.